In Texas, 1 out of 100 children are abused or neglected. A baby's cry, a child's scream is often not heard, because many abused and neglected children have no one to speak for them. Even children removed from abusive situations can become a statistic, another case, unless someone gives them a voice. I'm Chadwick Sapenter, and I want to tell you how you can speak up for an abused child and why it's important. Today, I'm the CEO of my own company, MyFocal Incorporated. But if a CASA volunteer did not enter my life at age 14, I'm not sure where I'd be. My father died when I was 8 years old. My mother suffered from mental illnesses, and we spent most of our childhood living on the streets of San Antonio. I remember in bad times, my brothers and I would eat coupons with pictures of food on them when we were hungry. When my mom could no longer care for us, shelter became a tiny storage room in my aunt's house. She clearly didn't want to be taking care of us. It was rough. But day after day passed, my brothers and I spent time roaming the street aimlessly, with no real sense of direction and no belief that we could accomplish anything. But that all changed when Mr. Foster, a CASA volunteer, got involved in our lives. He believed in us. He taught us that we could do anything if we just believed in ourselves, and most importantly, he spoke up for us. His positive influence made all the difference. Even today, Mr. Foster has my back as I advocate for children in the foster care system.
CASA stands for Court-Appointed Special Advocates. There are so many children in Texas that are in the CPS care. We have 42,000 plus children. We would love to see a CASA volunteer for every child. CASA volunteers are appointed by judges so that they can watch and oversee the child, so that they do not get overlooked in an overburdened system. What we want to see is these children get to safe, permanent homes.
Oftentimes a CASA volunteer is with a child longer than anyone else in the entire court system process.
When you first find out about what the environment they were in and any kind of abuse that they had been subjected to, it breaks your heart that that's happened. But the good thing is that you know that you're there to try to help the system be corrected, and to get them into an environment that every kid should have.
There is no doubt in my mind that if it was not for CASA, these children would languish in the system for years to come without proper representation, because the lawyers and etc., they do not visit children. And CASA is the only one that has constant communication with a child.
I paint a picture for that judge. I paint the picture of that child because he doesn't know that kid, and he has to make a decision about their future, the rest of their life. He has to choose, and so I have to paint a really good picture on how that kid's doing so that judge can make the better decision.
So the department gives me their point of view, the CASA testifies, gives me their point of view of what this family needs to heal, or certainly what this child needs to heal. I listen to all of those things, and then I try to weave together what I think is the best plan of action.
Going into a courtroom, if you haven't ever been there before, is a little daunting at first. But in your training, they prepare you for that.
A CASA volunteer is never alone on their case. They always have the support of that CASA volunteer supervisor to answer any questions that they might have during the course of that case.
If you love and care for children, you're qualified to be a CASA volunteer.
I think all that child needs is a friend, somebody to listen, somebody to believe them. People think that you're doing it for the kids, and you are, but the rewards that you get are just immeasurable. I mean, it's just this feeling that is really unexplainable, you know, when a little boy looks up at you and says, "I love you." You know that you're protecting them, and you know that you make a difference. You can actually lead the direction of this child's future. People ask me all the time, how do you own a business and volunteer at these other places and work, 90 hours a week and still have time to do this? And I say, I make the time because that child needs me.
Taking care of our children defines our community, and our civility. How well we do that defines us.
If you can speak, you can make a difference in the life of a child. It took one person, Mr. Foster, to make a difference in my life. You can make a difference too.